Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Vanderbilt Dynasty. We have completed Season 4, and we are 6-6. Now, technically, we should be bowl eligible. However, when I've looked at the projected bowl games, we're not in a bowl game. So this video is going to be either the bowl game, wait for inter bowl game, or the offseason. But we will advance to the next couple weeks to see exactly what happens. We've had 6 wins for a while. Tyrone Singleton commits. That's it, but we're in first for everybody except his right tackle Brewer, who I'm not really interested in getting. Steve Dearth, risk of transfer, but that's fine. Championship contender down to a C. Got a few players, risk of transfer. We do have a couple of games before the bowls. Let's see if we're in here yet. We're still not in bowl projections, so maybe we're not going to make a bowl game despite being bowl eligible. But we're in week 14. That is going to be Army-Navy. And we'll see exactly how that game plays out. Army 3-8, Navy 5-6. Neither team too great. But we take a look at recruiting here. In week 14, week of Army-Navy, we've got several players committed, including this guy Frank, our quarterback future. Bo Hyde, we still lead for. Let's go. Although Notre Dame has now re-offered him. That's strange what's going on there. We still lead for Bo Hyde ahead of Duke, Clemson, and Notre Dame, but it's going to be tough to get him. We can't give him a visit because we have no home games left. Although I'm not sure how does Duke have a home game in week 16? Doesn't make any sense. But we do have some hours to spend. We can take Brewer off our board after Singleton commits. South Alabama has offered Timmy Jones, so we'll put like 25 on him because we've got the hours. Still the only team to offer Marshall. He'll commit soon. This guy Bullock, we're not going to be able to get because of our deal breaker, championship contender. We'll keep him on the board for now, just in case, but I doubt he'll commit. Alright, we take the lead here for Quincy Williams. Nice. Take the lead here for Marco Aziola. And we stay in the lead for Perfect, although Troy has now offered him. But, yeah, those are all the recruits. Can't schedule anyone for a visit, but all these guys we're in a good spot for, and we'll just have to see who we can go a lot the remaining 100 hours. So I went through and added our hours. Not a ton changed here. And I just added more hours to some of the guys we haven't gotten to commit yet. We'll advance to next week, which will be week 15. And that will be conference championship week. We're in first for everybody here. Nice. Still Bo Hyde. Clemson has now jumped Duke for second. So we're going to have to hold off Clemson. Notre Dame out of the race. Just take a look at the conference championships. Oh, I forgot to go over the top 25, although it really is not going to change because Army and Navy aren't getting ranked in the top 25. But Washington, NC State, Clemson, Notre Dame, USC is the top 5. And Boise State, Colorado, Michigan State, Utah, Georgia round out the top 10. Georgia and Utah and Michigan State actually both must be coming off losses. They're all going down in the rankings. Here's a look at the full top 25. And here's a look at the playoff bracket, which is not going to be official yet because we still have to play conference championships, but that's what it looks like. Heading into conference championships, Georgia USC, the 7-10 game blocked by my camera. Interesting, the SEC champ is the team that doesn't get the first round bye. That's interesting. Washington, NC State, Boise State, Colorado, the 4 byes, and then Ole Miss representing the SEC. Very interesting to see that. But here is a look at the... Actually, let's just check Army-Navy. Navy beat Army 17-3. Navy is 6-6. Army now 3-9. The conference championships in the Conference USA, we got Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State 9-3. Both teams actually 9-3. Although Jacksonville State a top 20 team. Central Michigan and Toledo in the MAC. Neither team ranked. A top 10 matchup in the Big 12. Utah and Colorado State. South Alabama and Georgia Southern, a top 25 matchup in the Sun Belt. Ole Miss and Georgia, in the SEC. Tulane and North Texas, another top 25 matchup between group of 5 teams. In the American, Boise State and Fresno State in the Mountain West. A top 10 matchup in the Big Ten with Washington, Michigan State, and Louisville and NC State in the ACC. That is what the conference championship looks like. And let's see what we have in recruiting. We got 50 hours. How did we get hours back? Nobody committed. But Bo Hyde, it's going to be tough. I have a feeling Clemson might jump us. I mean, we're doing everything we can to get him. We got a hard sell on him. And friends and family. We didn't get him on campus because we got in his ways really late. But it's going to be tough to get him. But as far as the rest of these guys go, we're still in a good spot. Marshall going to commit any day now. And we remain the only team to offer most of these guys. I guess we'll just throw the 50 on Nick Brook and we'll split it up to 40 and 10. Because I just don't want to not use them. I mean, if they're available, why not use them? Kind of the thinking there. Our kicker, we haven't really scouted him, just offered him a scholarship because we need a kicker. We're the only team to offer him. This could be a little interesting with Willie's. Georgia Tech getting kind of aggressive here for Azila. But otherwise, we lead for everybody else. So we will sim the conference championship week. And that will bring us to bowl week 1 of 4, I believe. Hyde's going to Clemson. Okay. Disappointing, but can't say didn't expect it. None of that changes. Oh, there's a bye and then bowl games. But we'll take a look at the top 25. Actually, let's take a look at the scores, and then we'll take a look at the top 25. Where are we going? There we go. Jacksonville State beat Kennesaw State 21-13. Central Michigan beat Toledo 24-17. Utah beat Colorado 27-25. South Alabama beat Georgia Southern 34-31. Georgia beat Ole Miss in a shootout 45-30. Tulane beats North Texas by 2 touchdowns 27-13. Boise State beats Fresno State in another shootout 45-33. Washington beats Michigan State in another shootout 42-34. And NC State destroys Louisville 48-7. The ACC is like, wait a minute, isn't Clemson good? They must have not been great in the conference then. Yeah, Clemson, they're number 3. It didn't play for the ACC championship. Yeah, they have 2 conference losses. But here is what the top 13 looks like. Washington, NC State, Clemson, Notre Dame, USC is the top 5. That remains the same. Utah from 9 to 6. Boise State falls a spot. Georgia up 2. Colorado down 2. Michigan State down 2. Ole Miss down 1. Now let's get to the playoff. Let's see who makes it here. So the SEC champion Georgia will have to play in the first round. They'll play Colorado as the 8th seed. And we got Washington as the 1 seed, NC State as the 2 seed, Utah as the 3 seed, Boise State as the 4 seed. Clemson the 5 seed, they'll play 12 seeded Ole Miss. Notre Dame is the 6 seed, they'll play 11 seeded Nebraska. The 7 seed is USC, they'll play 10 seeded Michigan State. And the 8 seeded Georgia will play 9 seeded Colorado. That's what the playoff bracket looks like. And let's see if we're in a bowl projection yet. I mean, we'll find out if we're in a bowl game next week when we sim, but just interesting. So strange, I don't see us in here. I was really excited to play a bowl game as well. Finally getting to play one in Vanderbilt Dynasty, but apparently not. Timmy Jones commits. Center from Birmingham, Alabama. There's Nick Brook committing. And we've been locked out of this guard, but that's fine because not really planning on getting him as long as John Marshall commits. Steve Huey wins the Heisman. 3,696 yards, 41 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Washington's sophomore quarterback. Yeah, we're not in a bowl game, despite going 6-6. So this video is going to be the off season. Very interesting. But I wonder if we had any award winners. I doubt it, because they would have told us. But maybe we've had... Let's see who we could have had. Defensive player, maybe? No. Maybe we could have had a... Our defensive line wasn't great. Linebacker? Maybe Darren Hart could be in here? No. Alright, apparently not. And we don't have any All-Americans either. And we'd be in here as well. But here's a look at the All-Americans. Just gonna scroll through these. Feel free to pause the video if you guys want to further look at these guys. That is the first team. Wow, interesting. Who we the Heisman winner? Second team All-American. Very interesting. Wonder if we might have had anybody on the All-SEC. Maybe. Oh, Brandy Boyd, first team All-SEC. Yeah, All-SEC at running back. Could have had a couple of defensive guys. Maybe make second team. No. And freshman Marcus Addison, a redshirt freshman, makes the SEC freshman team at right guard. And that is that. Don't think the playoff starts yet. That's going to be this week. Yeah. But we'll take a look at job offers. Not going to accept any of them. We're staying at Vanderbilt and really building them up. Duke offers us head coach. Same thing with Troy. Oklahoma offers us offensive coordinator. Alabama defensive coordinator. Interesting. Technically, all these jobs are an upgrade, although not taking any of them. Wait, how is going to Troy, who's like 10 overall worse than us, an upgrade? I'm not exactly sure the thinking there. Early National Signing Day, let's see the development traits of these guys. Bo Hyde was star. Okay. Obviously didn't get him. Josh Kennedy is normal. Adaya is normal. Push with impact. Frank with impact. Michaels with star. Hashim with impact. Singleton normal. Crumpler impact. Sermon impact. School normal. Jones normal. McQuain impact. Brook normal. I think that's all the commits. Yeah. Oh, did not mean to press that. Let's just see how the rest of these recruits look. East, we're still the only team to offer. Marshall, any day now he'll commit. Cole, we're still the only team to offer. Yeah, we take this guy off our board. Barmore will commit any day now. All the receivers, really. Oh, okay. Tulane jumps for this kicker. And we still wait for Willies, although both other teams making a big push. Otherwise, we're still in a good spot for everybody. So we will advance to the next week, bowl week 2 of 4. And let's also check our stats. I was going to wait to do that in case we had to play a bowl game. But clearly no bowl game. Marshall commits from Knoxville, Tennessee. He's the only thing to change. But we'll take a look at these stats for our team here in Season 4. Jeremy St. Hilaire completed 59% of his passes, 2,359 yards, 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Definitely less interceptions than in the past. But the 13 touchdowns is not great. Alex Cleveland also 1 for 4, 10 yards and interception. On the ground, Randy Boyd, 170 carries, 814 yards, 7 touchdowns. Although Alex Cleveland led us in rushing touchdowns with 8 touchdowns on 18 carries. And Keenan Christensen also with a solid season, 5.3 yards a carry and 245 yards, 3 touchdowns. St. Hilaire with a couple of rushing scores. Galladay, 9 carries, 43 yards. Brown, 7 for 11. Receiving, Tristan Brown, our leading receiver, 44 catches, 631 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dan McVay, 32 for 521 in the touchdown. Cam led us in receiving touchdowns with 6, 35 for 450 and 6 touchdowns. Coleman had 23 for 244. Boyd 25 for 219. Yusuf 14 for 198 and a touchdown. And then these guys, not much of an impact. Let's see, how many sacks did we allow? A lot. Raheem Hodges allowed 11 sacks, Beckham at 5, Addison at 5, Crumpler 4, Starks 2, and the backup left tackle Tranquil allowed 1. Not great. Defensively, our tackles leader was Darren Hart and Daniel Huron, both had 68. Tackles for loss, we had 10 from Doug Olbrich, and he also led us in sacks with 6. But other guys with tackles for loss, 9 for Demarion Thomas, 7 for J.J. Lowry, who might transfer. Hopefully he doesn't. He's a nice player. 6 for Darren Hart, 5 for Ashley Williams Jr., who's going to graduate as a senior. 4 for Huron Ward, 3 for Gwynn, 2 for Sims and Schillinger, 1 for Bolware, Cousin, Toure, and Fogg. In sacks, 6 for Olbrich, 4.5 for Lowry, 2.5 for Huron, 2 for Thomas and Hart and Bolware, sack and a half for Williams, sack for Gwynn, Cousin, half a sack for Isaiah Sims. Interceptions, 4 for Jalen Lackey, 3 for Noah Schillinger, despite only playing not a ton of games. 8 games. He had a really nice season. Then 3 for Tate Hamby and 2 for Isaiah Sims. Deflections, 6 pass deflections for Darren Hart and John Ward, 4 for Isaiah Sims, 3 for Lackey and Huron, 2 for Hamby, 1 for Schillinger, Thomas, Williams, and Cousin. Forced fumbles, we didn't force many. 2 forced fumbles for Darren Hart, forced fumbles for John Ward, Isaiah Sims, and Tate Hamby. And recover 2 fumbles for John Ward and 2 for Tate Hamby. We blocked 1 kick, that was Doug Olbrich. No safeties. And 2 defensive touchdowns for Schillinger, 1 for Tate Hamby. Then kicking, we weren't great. We missed an extra point, 33 of 34. And we went 5 of 9 on field goals. The long of 45. Then punting, punted way too much. Kick return, we didn't return any for touchdowns, I don't think. No. And punt returns, we also didn't return any for touchdowns. But that is what our stats look like. And we'll actually also take a look at the team stats. Offensive stats probably not going to look too great. But filtered by the SEC, we were the worst team in terms of yards per game. That's pretty bad. We scored 23 points a game, which is second worst in the SEC. We were the second worst passing offense and the 5th worst rushing offense. With the fewest passing touchdowns, but 21 rushing touchdowns is actually tied for most in the SEC. Interesting. And first downs, we had 4th best in the SEC with 186. Then defensively, we were... No way we were the best in the SEC in terms of yards allowed. There's no way. How are we so good against the run? The 3rd best defense in the SEC against the run? Where does that rank nationally? What? Wow, that's surprising. Whoa, hold up. We have the best yardage defense in the country? Very interesting. We allowed 308 points, which is nowhere near best. But, I mean, we didn't allow teams to move the ball. I guess that's something. We're about middle of the pack in the SEC. We had 23 sacks, which wasn't great. Only forced 4 fumbles, or recovered 4 fumbles, and 12 interceptions. Then conversions, we were not the best on 3rd down. Actually, we were solid. Converting 42%. 60% on 4th down. And 2-point attempts, we were 3 for 3. In the red zone, we had a 72% points percentage, which is best in the conference. I wonder where that ranks nationally. Best nationally, actually. Interesting. Then defensively, our red zone percentage, we allowed points 65% of the time, which is not very good. And in turnovers, we've been awful in turnovers. -3, that's not that bad. And -3 turnover differential, we gave it away 19 times, had 16 takeaways, which is... How do you have 26 interceptions? That's got to be some kind of record. That's insane. But finally, we don't turn the ball over a hideous amount. Only a -3 turnover differential. And penalties, we had 29 of them just because they don't call penalties against the actual user. But those are stats from Season 2. We're going to advance to... Actually, let's take a look at the playoff. Clemson beat Ole Miss 33-19. Georgia beat Colorado convincingly 41-17. Nebraska upset Notre Dame 31-27. And Michigan State beat USC 38-24. We'll advance to bowl week 3 of 4. Oscar Peters committed. Only got to change with his recruiting. Again, we'll take a look at the playoff bracket. Clemson beats Boise State 35-20. Washington beats Georgia 42-28. Utah destroys Nebraska 34-7. And NC State beats Michigan State 28-21. We have the 1 seed against the 5 seed and the 2 seed against the 3 seed in the semis. We'll see how that goes. Barmore commits. And Turnbull. Nice. And it is Utah and Clemson in the national championship game. Wow, Utah destroyed NC State 45-10. And Clemson beat Washington by 16, winning 41-25. But Utah and Clemson, both teams 13-2 for the national championship. Hopefully we can be there one day. We will advance through the national championship. Utah or Clemson, let's see who wins it. And it is Clemson winning the national championship 28-14 as they beat Utah to win the national championship. Here's a look at the final top 25. Clemson, Utah, Washington, NC State, Notre Dame, the top 5. Feel free to pause the video here for the full top 25. And we will advance through the end of season recap. We just recapped our entire season. Willie's commits. Let's go. Really wanted to get him from Buffalo, New York. He is committed. Cole still hasn't committed, but still the only team to offer him. And now we get the players who might be leaving. Let's just first go over the team real quick and who I expect back. I don't really expect too many guys to leave. Jeremy St. Hilaire will be back for another season. He has been solid. Definitely thinking he can improve better. Or to be better next year. Boy, all running backs should be back. All receivers should be back. Although they really need one of them to become better. Tight ends, again, all should be back. Our offensive line is extremely young. Outside of Cooper Starks, he's the only guy who's graduating, although he's our best lineman. All the centers will be back, and I think right tackle, no, he's only a redshirt junior. Okay. Left end Ashley Williams Jr. does graduate, as well as defensive tackle Demarion Thomas, who's right here. Linebackers, I think, were good. We've been so young. I'm really expecting a big year for us next season. I think that's going to be our year if we want to have a chance to win a national championship. And yeah, everyone's going to be coming back, outside of Tate Hamby on defense. And Clausen. Look, he was always a backup. We're really young. Looking really good. Our punter's leaving as well. I don't really care about him. We got a lot of returning pieces coming into next season. And let's just see who's leaving. Lowry and Dearth. Okay. Cooper Starks enters the draft, projected round 5. Definitely think there's a chance some of these other guys get drafted as well. We might as well try to see if we can get both these guys back. I hope Lowry comes back. He's a nice player. Oh, J.J. Lowry back. Let's go. And Steve Dearth, is it even worth it? I'm not sure. Probably not. We got plenty of quarterbacks. We'll let him go. Not bad, not losing too many players. We'll advance to the next week. Those other guys stay. McGree, Finley, and Lowry. As we just got Lowry back. But off-season recruiting. We can also view the draft results. Let's see, where did Cooper Starks go? Round 4, nice. Maybe the highest we've ever had somebody go. I'm not sure. We're now a 2.5-star program after being a 2-star this past year. And transfer portal and off-season recruiting. Let's get to that. Got a lot of these players so far. East. Yeah, all these guys we're still in a very good spot with. We're not going to be able to get Bullock, although maybe there's a chance. I mean, it doesn't really seem like anyone's really recruiting him. I guess there's a chance. We're going to keep him on our board and hope he commits. But the rest of these guys, we're in a very good spot for. Got to put some hours back on them. But I'm going to go through, find some transfer portal prospects, and then get back to you guys in a second. Alright, so we've got really limited options in the transfer portal. What you see on the screen here are the only guys interested in potentially coming to our school. So, not great. We got a couple of defensive tackles we might try to bring in. Both are 4-stars. And we're already in their top 5. But, yeah, not looking great. I mean, I don't think we need a lot of these guys. We're really good along most of these positions. I'm not going to bring in a fullback from Kent State. Maybe we can go to the left end. But I don't really think we're going to be looking to bring in some of these guys. But we will get aggressive for these 2 4-stars. Not going to bother recruiting them. They are obviously great players. I'm not sure we want both of them. But I'm going to send the house on both. I mean, we might as well scout them. Just see what we're working with. Wow, 99 tackle for John Sheets. A 4-star coming from Notre Dame. And this guy, not sure how to say his name. 95 tackle. 94 strength, 82 block shedding. Both these guys look really good. I don't know if we need both of them. But could be nice to have. And this guy will offer a scholarship. And we'll also send the house on him. Why not? Not going to schedule visits with these guys because we need to know what they value first. And then, yeah, just going to go back and put the hours on everybody else. Might as well just send the house on everybody because we got the hours to do it, so why not? Or maybe I'll hard sell the guys we can hard sell. That's what I'm going to do, and we'll sim to the next week. Alright, so I finished adding a hard sell to everybody who's not a transfer. And we're going to advance to week 2 of off-season recruiting. Hopefully we get in a good spot for some of these 4-star defensive tackles. I think we'll only take 1. Perfect commits, nice. He's obviously not a transfer. We also just need to be aware not to take too many guys. In terms of the limit we can have in our roster. It doesn't tell us how many we have. But that's something we need to be aware of. Because last year we had to cut like 6 players. Let's see, does it tell us? We have 84 right now. No, actually that's our overall, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's our overall. Completely messed that up. 78 overall players. Yeah, that's 42 on offense, 35 on defense. So, yeah, we can take a few more. Obviously, these guys still going to commit. East, Georgia State, that is, does offer, but not really concerned about them. Any day now, Shane Cole will commit. Russ, we retake the lead for Averill. Azil, we lead for. We lead for close to commitment. McIntyre, we lead for. We get to the transfers. First for John Sheets. Okay, nice. Let's put the extra 15 on him, too. As a left end, we are first over Wake Forest. And this is going to be interesting. He is got 2 Pennsylvania schools ahead of us. But still possible to get him, definitely. Again, we'll put the extra 15 on him to get up to 65. We already know 2 of his hard sells, although I don't think we can figure out the 3rd. And I want to see if we can get any of these guys on visits. Maybe Azil, Georgia Tech got him on a visit already. We'll go week 3. And playing style. So advance to the next week of off-season recruiting. Shane Cole finally commits. About time. Juan commits. Nice. Still in first for John Sheets. And second for the other defensive tackle. So off-season recruiting 3 of 3. Or 3 of 4. Let's see. East. Close to commitment now. Russ close to commitment. Still lead here. Azila getting close to commitment. Plus he comes to campus this week. McIntyre we still lead for. Let's get him on campus as well. Why not? We'll go week 4. In academic prestige. This guy, we're still in second. We do jump Pitt behind Penn State. Sheets, we got a big lead for. Let's get him on campus too. Actually, what is... Yeah, playing style. We'll just go as soon as possible for him. And this guy, we lead for. I don't really think we're really need to do too much to get him. That's how we'll do. 3 of 4, and then we'll advance to week 4 of 4 in off-season recruiting. Sheets commits. Let's go. A 4-star defensive tackle from Notre Dame, and it works out. We only take one of the 2. John Sheets commits. Let's go. And then transfer portal and off-season recruiting week 4 of 4. Any day now, these guys will commit. East, extremely close to committing. Russ, very close. Our kicker still needs to narrow it on his top 3. Right? Yeah. Oh, we're still in first despite being locked out of him because of a deal breaker. Azila close to commitment. McIntyre fairly close. And this other guy close as well. But yeah, we're in a good spot. We'll check where our class ranks after this week. But our recruiting class is looking really good. Got a lot of 4 stars. Sam East commits, finally. Robert Russ commits, finally. Azila commits. That's that. Transfer. We got all 4. And National Signing Day. And then I'm going to talk about position change in a second. But we need to know the development traits for some of these other guys. East has impact. Who else do we need to know? Barmore is normal. Turnbull. Both these receivers are normal. All the receivers have normal, actually. Kind of annoying. Russ's impact. Our kicker commits. Got normal. Bullock commits. Let's go. Despite the deal breaker, he is signed. He's got impact. Willie's with normal. Azila with impact. Perfect with impact. Juan with star. Nice. McIntyre with elite. Let's go. John Sheets with impact. And this guy with normal. And then top classes. All things considered, I think we had a pretty good class. We got 29 commits. And it ranks 29th. 5 4 stars, 24 3 stars. And 29th in the country. Not bad. Obviously, could be better. But definitely think we had a pretty solid class. We got some major positions of need as well. Got a big-time receiver. The best recruit in Vanderbilt history. Not just Vanderbilt Dynasty history. Vanderbilt history. Got our quarterback future in a top 150 player in Frank. Got a what should be a great linebacker and a great defensive end. Really like the way we recruited this season. Position changes, gonna make one of them. And it's going to be quarterback Alex Cleveland. Frank is already 74 overall. But Alex Cleveland, we're going to move him to receiver because I want him to play receiver. But with how we used him at quarterback this season, I like with his mobility. We're going to move him to receiver so he progresses at receiver. And then we're going to move him back to quarterback. Trying to see if we can cheat the system a little bit right there. We move Alex Cleveland to receiver. We still have 5 quarterbacks. And Cleveland now on the receiver depth chart. He's not great. He's a 66 overall receiver, but hopefully he can improve there. Then we'll move him back to quarterback because quarterbacks can appear on the receiver depth chart. That's nice. And I don't think we're going to change anybody else. We do have a ton of receivers, but I think we're just going to keep them all where they are. Maybe we'll move around a couple of tackles. We've got a bunch of right tackles, I'm pretty sure, and not a ton of left tackles. Maybe we'll move Denard Marks over. Raheem Hodges, he played left tackle. Let's actually move Raheem Hodges to left tackle. It's not going to make a difference as overall. And is guard the same thing? No, not really. I do notice we had a ton of left ends or right ends last season. It's somewhat split up now, but let's just see. All our better players are on the right side. Kennedy is a 73 overall to start his career. Let's move a few of these guys to left end. Let's go put... We're going to put LaBelle and Gwynn over to the left side. No, not defensive tackle. There we go, left end. Linebackers, I think it'll just stay how it is. We do have a ton of middle linebackers, although some of them aren't great. Got a bunch of outside linebackers on the right side. Corners, we now have some depth there after not having a ton the last year, or a couple years actually. And safety's going to stay the same, and obviously kicker and punter. Although we don't have a punter. Although maybe one of these guys can do both. But that is what position change is going to be. Not really anything significant outside of Cleveland. We'll advance next week. Hopefully we progress a lot. And we get a lot better. Level up our coach. And let's see training results. Hopefully we're seeing Jeremy St. Hilaire to at least an 85. We got 86, 87 overall team. 86, let's go. Oberich to an 88, let's go. Addison to an 87, obviously playing up a little bit. Lowry to an 85, glad we got him back. Wacky's an 86. Wynn's an 85. Ellis is an 85. Darren Hart is an 84. Let's go. Looking pretty good. Bad thing is I haven't quite seen a specific player we were looking for. St. Hilaire didn't go up at all. He's a 79 and playing to an 81. Larry is up to a 77, though. Interesting. That's a little annoying. St. Hilaire is only an 81 or a 79, depending on where you look. Was definitely hoping he'd go up a little bit more, but apparently not. Boyd's an 86. Christensen, well, Coker develops a lot to a 78. Christensen's a 77. McVeigh is up to an 86. Alex Cleveland develops with 73. Okay. And we're going to move him back to quarterback now. Because quarterbacks, as I said, can play receiver, but receivers you can't put at quarterback. And what is Alex Cleveland's overall as a quarterback? Probably not anything different. 71, 68 still. Tight ends. Coleman's an 81. I don't really think that changed. Left tackle Hodges is an 82. Frankel's an 80. Obviously, we talked about Ellis. France to an 84. Nice. Rumport to an 84. Addison's an 87. Chestnut's an 84. And right tackle Chris Beckham's an 82. Denard Marks is 78. The redshirt freshman, 4-star recruit. Xavier Gwynn's an 85. Let's go. Right end Lowry's an 87. Defensive tackle Oberich is our best player. Fogg developing to an 82. Sheets is an 84, the transfer. Sills is an 82. Boogie Ture is an 81 now. Daniel Huron still an 83. I don't really think that changed much. Corner Wacky Schillinger's up to an 83. Wow, we got 5 80-plus corners. Or really 79, because these two guys playing up. Pretty solid. Sims is an 80. McQueen's a 76. I think we'll play in the slot for us this season. And then Ben Cloud is an 81. And kicker, Parr did develop a little bit. Maybe he'll be better. And still no punter. Team looking pretty solid. An 86 overall entering the next season. So, let's see. We can upgrade our coach. We got 20 points. Still need to unlock some of these things. Might try to see if we can do anything in recruiter. We can't really do anything down here yet because we haven't finished this. So might not do that now. Tactician. This is boosting. Might just get all one of these. Let's actually go. Let's go all of receivers. We can definitely use help there. There we go. Encourage transfers. We need to force anybody to leave. Wow. Okay, we took way too many players. Alright, I forgot that total wasn't including the recruits. Okay, that's a little concerning. Probably going to keep the quarterbacks. Might want to tell one to get out of here. Galladay just hasn't really improved at all. Actually, what? Can we view their player card from here? You can't, okay. But let's see. Our receivers are just existent. They're not great. Tommy Cush, by the way, is 74 overall. Start his career. I know Barrett's is 78, but I just would like to get some of the younger guys involved, even though... Well, I say younger guys. Deontay Tam's now a senior. Yusuf's a redshirt junior. Maybe we'll keep him. Tight ends, I think we got to move on from one of these guys. It's going to be Andre. He's only 6'2" as well. The offensive line is tough. We're going to have to get rid of some of these guys, but they're just good. That's the problem. Or we'll develop. Like, look at our right guard. Outside the freshman, everyone's an 80 overall. I think Nick Torres might have to go. A lot of these guys I just don't want to encourage transfers because they're so young. Tommy Calvin, I just don't really think it's going to be anything too great. Or maybe we keep him and we tell Horan to go somewhere else. McGree is just buried on the depth chart. Don't think he's going to have an impactful role. We'll get him off the team. We have a lot of linebackers. Matt Abraham's just not very good. He's off the team. Emmanuel Finley's still young. Wesley Spears probably isn't going to see much playing time. We're going to encourage him to transfer. Got a ton of corners. But they're all pretty good. We got 4 freshman corners. Safeties. I kind of like all those guys. Let's see. 16 players we still got to get rid of. That's going to be tough. It's going to be one of Salas or Emery, although I don't really think either is going to play much. Let's see what some of these guys are looking like right now. But I'm going to go through. I'm not going to show you everyone because that's going to be a lot of time and try to not make this video insanely long. If I can think of anyone I'm really going to get rid of, I'll maybe point them out, but probably not going to show you guys all of it. Alright, so we got our roster finally down to 85. I didn't really get rid of a ton of major players. We got rid of Salas at quarterback. A couple of running backs. Galladay, and I forget the other guy's name. He returned kicks for us this past year. Receivers, I got a couple guys to go. One of was Adrian Yusuf, who played a decent role for us this past year. Moved on from a couple of tight ends and players along the offensive line. It was a left guard and a right guard. A few of them, actually. And then we're now at 87 overall. Let's go. I just realized that. And linebackers, another one. had so many of them. Like, I'm not afraid to move a middle linebacker to left outside linebacker or something like that. That's the way I kind of view it when I recruit. We're going to have these guys and the rest of them. I kind of just view them all as linebackers. It doesn't really matter what kind of position they play, as long as they're not pass rushers. Then obviously that's different. And didn't really get rid of anybody too much along in the secondary. And I wanted to get rid of one of these two kickers, although we can't force either one of them to transfer, which is kind of annoying. Custom conferences we're not going to do. And, yeah, that's going to bring us to the 2028 preseason, I believe. Yeah, we are in the 2028 preseason. So, first just want to see if we're a preseason top 25 team. 87 overall. We're not another receiving votes. And we're not a preseason top 25 team, although a lot of these teams aren't as good. But we'll get to that next video. But, okay, team name 1. Hold on. Alright, I thought it just got messed up. But, as far as the plan for the rest of Vanderbilt Dynasty, I do want to get back to playing baseball content and Super Mega Baseball and my Moose franchise. You guys have watched that in the past. I want to get back to doing that with it being baseball season. So the plan is going to be, this 2028 season is going to be the last year we play the moments in every game. And then we're going to do a few more years after that. And we're just going to sim those. If we make the playoff, we'll play the moments of those games, but just try to speed this up a little bit so we can get back to baseball before it's July, and a couple months we'll go back to football. But that's the plan with the content on this channel for the next few months. And the rest of Vanderbilt Dynasty going to play 2028 season as we have this past 2027 season. Play the moments, then we're going to sim a few years, probably to like 2030 or something like that. And because really the hope is our now 4-star gem recruit at quarterback, Frank, can lead us. He's our quarterback of the future. Really hoping he can be that guy to lead us to a national championship, or at least the college football playoff. So I want to be able to get to play some of his career. If we didn't get him, I was just going to say 2028 is the last year, but I want to be able to use him on our team for a little bit. But that's the plan going forward. That's going to do it for this episode of Vanderbilt Dynasty. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible. Be sure to check out my main channel, Super Sports Central, link in the description of this video. That's all for this video. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.